Hello,
Hello,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good too. Kiss naħa Islandija.
Iceland is located in Europe. It's an island in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, and it's between North America and Europe. The shortest distance to the closest country, which is called Greenland, is about 290 kilometers. Although if you stand in Iceland, you cannot see Greenland from anywhere. So in a way, we are kind of stuck on an island here, and we need airplanes and ships to travel wherever we want to go.
Nam lahko nekaj poveste o tektonskih ploščah?
There is something special about the continental plates in Iceland. Iceland is located on the junction between two tectonic plates, the Eurasian plate, where you are actually at, and the North American plate. And these plates are slowly drifting apart. And Iceland grows by about 2 centimeters per year. So it's the equivalent of growing a fingernail in 1 year or so. So every now and then we experience earthquakes, and these earthquakes can be quite powerful, as I know that you can also feel in Slovenia. They are never really dangerous though, because most of the places where Icelanders live is pretty far from everything.
Ste kdaj videli severni sij? Kako ta nastane?
In the winter, when it's dark enough, we can see these lights dancing across the sky. And those lights are formed when tiny particles from the sun collide with the Earth's atmosphere, causing it to glow. Okay, so in the winter we are treated to this beautiful sight of greenish, reddish, even pinkish and purple auroras or northern lights dancing across the sky. And sometimes we have aurora storms, where the whole sky is just completely lit with auroras. But for us to see the auroras, we need to have clear skies, darkness, and also the sun has to be sending us the solar wind, which is the origin of the northern lights. And it's absolutely beautiful.
Ali imate na Islandiji kakšne zanimive rastline in živali, ki jih tukaj v Evropi ne moremo najti?
Iceland is not very rich when it comes to plants and animals. And that's because Iceland used to be covered with glaciers. The plants or the landscape can be sort of described as a tundra, an Arctic tundra, which means that the vegetation is quite small and there aren't many animals here. We do have a fox, it's called the Arctic fox, and right next to the country we have lots and lots of fish, and also in the lakes and the rivers. The most common animal in the country is the sheep. So there are more sheep in the country than humans. One thing that's special about Iceland is that Iceland is one of the only places in the world where we don't have mosquitoes. So even mosquitoes don't want to live here.
Katero je glavno mesto Islandije?
The capital city of Iceland is called Reykjavik, and the main name Reykjavik means Smoky Bay. And that's because when the first people who settled Iceland came here, they saw smokes steaming out of the earth, the smokes from the geysers. And they called the area Smoky Bay or Reykjavik.
Ali imate res gejzirje in ledenike?
We do have many geysers and glaciers in Iceland. We have about 20 to maybe 30 active geysers in the country, and some of the biggest ones, they erupt every few minutes, every 10 minutes or so. So you can go there and watch the water being pumped out into the air, many meters. It's beautiful. And that's because Iceland has high volcanic activity. We have volcanoes all over, and deep within the ground you have molten, very hot lava, and it's heating up the water, and so you get geysers here and there. Iceland used to be covered completely by glaciers, but since then they have sort of disappeared in a way. But we do have the biggest glacier in Europe. It's called Vatnajökull, and we have many more glaciers as well, where the mountains are the highest. The snow just stays there for the whole year, and that produces glaciers. You can walk up to them, you can walk on them, but you have to have everything secure to actually do so. So they can be quite dangerous as well.
Kaj pa vulkani?
Iceland is famous for having many volcanoes, and currently, at least when we are talking, we do have a volcanic eruption taking place only 20 kilometers away from here, where I live. So in the evening, I can see a volcanic eruption from my window. We have a volcanic eruption every 3 to maybe 5 years, and Iceland is one of the most volcanically active places on the earth. So we do have sometimes eruptions taking place just below glaciers. Then we have explosive volcanoes, just like we had in 2010, when this glacier called Eyjafjallajökull erupted. We have big, huge, dark clouds of ash being blown everywhere. And currently we have this beautiful basaltic, or just like a regular volcano erupting.
How do you say goodbye?
You can say goodbye in two ways. You can say vertu sæll or bless. So which one do you prefer? Vertu sæll or bless?
Bless.
Bless.
Bless, yeah, bless is probably easier. So bless, bless.
Bless, bless.
Bless.